Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Hello, welcome back to the show. My name is JJ, and over there is Sling Funner Deke. I'm going to be Fun Slinger JJ, and this is rumble.com/JJW or youtube.com/JJW8071 because that's how it works. Whenever you're the last one to sign up for YouTube, you just get whatever you can get. Uh, this is the show that runs every Monday through Friday, where we talk about news, politics. That's not right. Here we go. News, politics, culture, pop culture, and whatever is on our minds. That's Deacon. I'm JJ, and we are your two dads. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Deacon was just telling me that he had a long, long day yesterday. So he may regale us with his tales of uh, radio. What is the professional name for broadcaster? Broadcastering. He was broadcastering all day yesterday. Well, we'll see. He's on the phone. We'll talk to him in a minute. I didn't quite have as bad a day as him, but maybe he'll talk to us about that in a second. Yeah, Funslinger Mr. E. That's right. Funslinger Mr. E is here. Good morning. Welcome back. All right. So we got a couple of interesting things in the news. But I think it was more interesting those little books you were talking about, Deacon. Deacon's talking about these little books. Do you give those to your kids every year?
I try.
That is pretty cool.
I haven't done a very good job some years.
It's so hard.
So I mean, I just got 3. I brought 3 here at work today, and you can get them at Walmart. They're just like little pocket sketchbooks, but I write in them, and I've tried for years.
Do you kind of tell the kids about your about the year, like over the last year, and just is that what it is?
A little bit, and yeah, my thoughts on them and how they're growing up and stuff like that. I get very emotional when I write them.
That's good. And then they probably have these stacked up,
Well, hopefully they will in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Very creative and personable, and will be, if they keep them, will be a good sentimental reminder.
I might not be good for much in this world, but I am a good idea man. I can come up with really good ideas. Executing those ideas, I leave on other parties, but I can come up with some brilliant ideas. I have in the past. The execution portion of my idea phase.
That's good.
Where I stumble.
I come up with an idea and I'm like, I'm just gonna work on this again and again and again, and then eventually everybody else is like, this is a terrible idea. Why are you still?
Let me tell you what you do.
No, there's gold here.
Some of your ideas, I know what you do with some of them is you have a gold idea. You're like, this is a good idea. And then you take that gold and you put gold plate on it and you put more gold plate, plate on it. So pretty soon the golden idea is a shitty idea because you've added too much fake shit to it. It was a great idea to start with. You put too much shit on top of it.
Welcome to the show. That's exactly what we're in. Yes. That's right.
Look, I am drinking coffee out of my new coffee mug.
Yes. That's Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka. Ooh. She's one of the.
I said that right.
She's one of the baddest Star Wars characters.
Baddest assest
Star Wars characters.
I'm getting in directions from costume department. Okay, here is the Santa hat. All right, let's talk news.
Do it.
Let's talk about before we get to our title story, which, by the way, today's title is, "Are you dumb enough to be the next Twitter CEO?" Before we get to that, we got a couple of other news stories out of California. So Governor Newsom, about, I don't know, we'll say 6 months ago, maybe. I don't know how long it was. He championed a law, and they signed a law into place in California, and they modeled the law on the Texas abortion law. Okay. So the Texas abortion law, if you don't know, basically didn't go after people directly performing abortions or getting abortions. The Texas abortion law said if you are assistant to the abortion of a child and termination of a child, and like for instance, you drove them there or you paid for it or whatever, then the Texas law would provide grounds for you to be sued and be financially liable. And so when people like, something like a Planned Parenthood like organizes a big old abortion rally or abortion, I don't know, parade, I don't know, then then Planned Parenthood could be sued, right? Or not just Planned Parenthood, but any sort of little organization that just makes it their mission to make it easier for young girls to kill their kids. So that's the Texas law model. Basically, sue the people that are facilitating. Okay, so Gavin Newsom was like, okay, well, two can play at that game. So Gavin Newsom gets California to sign into law a gun control law that's based on that model. Because, in California, they hate for you to have guns. They're afraid of you. Turns out that a United States District Court says you can't do that. That's unconstitutional. United States District Court judge deemed a California gun control law unconstitutional on Tuesday. Who'da thunk that constitutional rights would be upheld by a judge? U.S. District Court Judge Roger Benitez determined that the Senate Bill 1327, which was signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom earlier this year, is unconstitutional, an outcome that Newsom welcomed as it put a spotlight on similar provisions in Texas law. Oh, Mr. Newsom, you don't understand. Aborting children is not in the Constitution. This is the guy that the Democrats are like, this is our next great white hope to be the president of the United States. Because, Biden is like super, super, super old. And so the field for the 2024 contenders includes Gavin Newsom and a bunch of other losers. This Jeez. Is their... anyway, the law allows private citizens to sue firearms manufacturers. California modeled the law after the Texas abortion bill known as SB 8 and allows private citizens to sue abortionists and those who aid and abet in abortions.
There should be some sort of law that says when politicians do shit like this to purposefully waste time and resources, that they have to pay for it out of their pocket or something.
Oh,
this is purposefully wasting time. He knew, and the people that passed this law knew, that this would never go forth. This was a posturing deal. This was moving a pawn into a place. This is all that this was. And this uses time and resources that could be spent other places. This is wasteful fucking getting up there and throwing your balls, putting your balls on the table and being wasteful is all this is. Gavin Newsom is a dumbass, and he should have to pay for all of this crap out of his pocket. This is the dumbest thing. Is this what we do? It's like what I would do. I'm likening this to a 7th grade middle school argument. Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna do that in Miss Murphy's class. Well, look what I'm gonna do over here. We're gonna do the same thing.
Honestly, wasting time and not getting anything done is one of the best outcomes with politicians. Because the only thing that happened was like some paper got signed and then like it was immediately challenged and overturned. So I mean, I think all things considered, this is one of the best outcomes. You got Gavin Newsom to spin his wheels. California Congress spun their wheels for a little bit, and then when they were done, they were like, "We banned guns in California," and then California was like, "Yeah, no, you didn't." This is the best outcome. I think it's great. Gavin Newsom had a statement. Gavin Newsom said, "I want to thank Judge Benitez." He actually thanked the judge that overturned his law. And then he tried to parlay it into a Texas abortion law is wrong and bad. Mr. E says, I got, so the governor of Florida should have to pay for immigrant location out of his own pocket. I guess you're analogizing that to the immigrant migration stuff.
No, that's not wasting time though, because if you would listen to our shows back then and what we said.
Yeah, you were gone for a little bit, but
the border patrol, the border states have this immigration problem, like Texas, that states like Maryland and Vermont and Massachusetts don't have. So you can set up on your you put a P in the bed and you put 40 mattresses on top, and you can set on top of that mattress and not feel that P because you're 40 mattresses away from that P, and you're going to be able to sleep in that bed perfectly like the princess did, princess. But if you sleep on that one mattress, on the mattress that's next to the P, the border state, you're going to feel the P and you're going to have problems. And so all these princesses sitting on their mattresses in all these states up north are saying what they want to say about immigration and let's bring immigration in, but they don't have to deal with it. So what did he do? What did they do? They let them deal with it. And then what did they do? They threw a fucking fit in the media and tried to make themselves look nice while ushering out the fucking poor, scummy people at the same time from their rich ass, posh ass neighborhoods. So don't throw, Mr. E, don't throw that crap in my face like I'm being wrong about that, because I'm not. That is a terrible analogy. That has nothing. One thing does not have to do with the other there.
I think that,
and honestly, I would use my taxpayer money to move that shit around. But to be honest with you, those fucking people shouldn't be in my goddamn country to start with. And the only reason they're in my country is because of loose ass policies that some dumbass liberal put in place.
Okay. So I was going to say,
I'm going to have to shut off my microphone now.
I was going to say on the DeSantis thing, so Arizona and Texas, they were busing migrants. I mean, like, in one hand, it is a political move because it illuminates the issue of immigration. But on the other hand, there are so many people living in the streets on these border towns. A Democrat mayor of, I think, El Paso declared an emergency because there's so many asylum seekers.
Yeah, the people in Nantucket don't care. They've got their houses. They're going to go in, and they don't care about these people that are sleeping on the streets. They don't see, out of sight, out of mind. So they don't see it. So when Newsom and DeSantis and all them, DeSantis, when they throw those people and actually put them in front of their face, they don't like it. Look what they did in Nantucket. They tried to spin it like we're helping these people, but they ushered their asses out as quick as they could.
DeSantis sent like one plane with 50 people to Nantucket, and then people in Nantucket were like, "We welcome them," and immediately we're like, "Get these brown people out of here!" Immediately.
Yeah, they welcomed them for the news cameras, and then they got it out quick.
All right, Mr. E says calm down a little bit, and okay,
calm down, Deacon. Goddamn.
I will agree with you. It was a media stunt, and it was also a messaging thing. Yeah, we're having a discussion.
I love you, Mr. E. I love you, Mr. E. When I go off on my rants and like, just take me with a grain of salt, man.
California has a gun violence problem other states don't have. Okay,
you're right.
Is that because in California they don't prosecute criminals?
Let them do whatever the hell they want to.
I think that's because they close prisons and don't prosecute criminals. I think that's their actual problem. It's not the guns; it's the criminals. But you know what? It's California. California's allowed to do what they want to do, and when California's criminals come to Texas, Texas is allowed to do what Texas does.
That's right. And that's a wonderful thing that they probably did not teach you in history class in your 10th, 11th, and 12th grade history class. If you even took history that long, I did. but they probably forgot
He's not
to
saying
teach
you. He's saying generically.
I know,
He's
but
saying generic.
I'm not saying you. I mean generic as well. Most people have forgotten that in history that's part of the United States government.
And
That
let me
California is its own little place, and Texas
right.
is its own little place. But people think that we're all under one shoe.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
And I'm just going to reiterate, I'm very much pro immigration. I'm just not pro let criminals come across the border in the gutters and get drowned and not have any records at all of entering the country.
I'm the same way. You want to come to America and better your life? Welcome. You can come to my neighborhood.
I heard
you got to do it right.
I heard yesterday that, and forgive me if I'm in error or misrepresenting, but this is my understanding. In the 12 months prior to Joe Biden taking office, that is the last 12 months of Trump's presidency, there were somewhere around 500,000 border crossings in that 12 that were illegal immigrants crossing the border. 500,000. In the year following Joe Biden taking office, 2 million. In the next year after that, 2 million. The problem is 4 times worse, and now it's doubled. And who is to blame for that? I mean, has Joe Biden been to the border once? No. Has Kamala Harris, the border czar, been to the border once? No. They're not doing their job. And because they're not doing their job, there are millions of people in the country that aren't supposed to be here. Some of them are asylum seekers. Let's be honest. A lot of them are not. And a lot of people, especially kids and women, are in violent danger and taking abuse by cartels, taking abuse by coyotes, in many cases raped and worse, human trafficking. There was a story like yesterday or the day before about a migrant that like escaped from this holding house that the cartels were keeping him in. They bring them into the country and then they're tagged and they're like slave labor, some of them. So
that's what I've understood that some of them do. They have to
states'
work it
rights
off.
have been gutted. Yeah. You gotta work it off. You're tagged and you come in and you owe I don't know $4,000, $8,000, and you're gonna stay under the cartel control in our country until you pay that bill.
And you might not pay back $1,000 in 5 years. So
or in some cases render services. You know what I mean?
It's a bad deal that our government is not doing anything about because they think that these people can come over and they'll vote Democrat. It's interesting having front row seats to the end of your country, to your country on fire, isn't it?
Nice way to say that. Interesting.
I mean, we do. We have front row seats to the burning of the United States.
So we got another related story, but we're not going to stick on this too long. But I do want to bring this up. Apparently, the feds lost track of 150,000 migrants due to Biden's no processing policy. A training video says, an ICE official said that in a video that the 150,000 migrants were, quote, issued a piece of paper that said, go find somebody in ICE. And then they left. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials lost track of 150,000 people that entered the U.S. due to Biden administration's no processing policy. The Biden administration launched Operation Horizon in November 2021 to try and locate 150,000 migrants that were released in the summer earlier. But the training video published Tuesday by Fox News showed that officials had difficulty tracking down the migrants due to no identifying information.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Oh my God. Who would have thought a program like that wouldn't have it's like you designed a program to fail. You designed it to fail.
Okay, sir, what's your name? Jose Smith. Okay, Jose Smith. Go find an ICE official. We're gonna find you.
I need a copy of your driver's license. I don't have. Oh, I need a copy of your birth certificate. No, I don't have. Okay, can I get a photograph? No. Okay. Well, what's your residence you're staying at while you're here in the country? I don't have. Oh shit. All right. Well, Go find an ICE agent, please.
All right.
150,000
I don't want
people.
to talk
Hey, that's
about
not.
this mess anymore. It's just
Yeah.
pissing
All
me
right.
off.
Yeah. I know.
We should be
I ain't
happy.
trying to. Let's talk about let's talk about your future employment opportunities, Deacon. I think maybe you might be the guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to nominate you.
Okay.
I'm going to nominate you as soon as the show's over,
Yeah.
because it turns out
Yeah.
that Elon Musk is seeking his own replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk, he took a vote. And 17 million people on Twitter voted, and they said 57.5% of them said, absolutely, Elon, you should step down as head of Twitter. And so Elon has said he will resign as Twitter as soon as he finds a successor. I believe his quote is here: "I will resign as CEO as soon as I find someone foolish enough to take the job. After that, I will just run software and server teams." So,
So how do you think his little stunt was successful or unsuccessful?
oh, in terms of
Because
fielding bot,
no, just
baiting
that's
bots.
just one small aspect of this stunt was finding bots. That was one minor little thing. Do you think
I
I think this stunt was very successful in what he wanted to do. He probably didn't want to be CEO of Twitter, didn't want to have that title anymore, had to give it up. He'd done this, he found bots, he was able to, I mean, he probably accomplished 50 fucking things doing this. I have a lot of respect for that. I think the guy's a smart guy. I might not agree with everything that he does, but this was a smart move, whether it was his idea or he's either a smart guy or he surrounds himself with brilliant people. But whoever's idea this was, I think it was brilliant. I think it was brilliant.
specifically the poll to resign or not
Poll to
resign.
resign
Well, look,
was a brilliant stunt.
this dude's trying to make electric cars and fly spaceships to Mars and have satellites. Like, who has time to do all of that and also run Twitter? And then you buy Twitter. You're like, okay, Twitter's obviously messed up. I'm pretty sure I can fix it. I'm going to buy Twitter. And then he gets it and he's like, okay, let me just go through oh my God, what have you people been doing in here? You're literally the FBI is a sock puppet. This Twitter has the FBI shoved right up its ass and telling people what's going on. And not just the FBI, but like the CIA is using Twitter to manipulate foreign governments. And he's like, this is not a
Hey,
company.
speaking of
This
the
is
CIA,
propaganda
can I
machine.
just bring up the fact that, and we haven't even said it on our fucking show, the CIA has basically all but come out and said, yes, we've all but proved that the CIA has killed John F. Kennedy in the past fucking week.
Oh
And
yeah. Okay.
nobody
So
said a word about it.
okay, Deacon, maybe you're better. So I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, I know that this is so enormous that I am not qualified to even really talk about it. Uh, so about 3-4 days ago, what was it? The White House or whoever released like 75,000 JFK files. 75, like you could pour over every doc. You can pour over every little handwritten piece of paper from the entire investigation. So, but to condense that down, there is a tweet by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which I believe is the nephew of JFK.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Okay.
that and he says the CIA killed his uncle.
I thought we all
So,
had pretty much accepted that as fact until the government, came out and basically said it. But, once again, the media, this media that you're supposed to trust, that we used to trust, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, all these major media outlets, what they're supposed to be, didn't say a word about it. They're supposed to be the news, And another thing that's come out is all these Twitter files. We've basically, Elon basically proved what you said a second ago, that the FBI basically had Twitter and Facebook and all them. We can assume Facebook and the others, but Twitter was definitely their sock puppet, that they were, doing whatever they wanted to. And they haven't said a word about it. All of this information is being suppressed all over the internet, except in certain spots that you know where to go. So if my dad is not looking for it, he's not going to see
This
it.
is Twitter. This is Twitter. Twitter, FBI. So this is what has been going on for years.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's not on CNN or MSNBC or one of those, you're right. But that's the thing. We don't really have journalists anymore. Journalists, that even the ones that write on newspapers, a lot of them, they literally
Are
just Google
paid
stuff and then
shills. Yeah, they're
they
paid
Google
shills.
stuff and they copy it. I saw a post yesterday of somebody had taken a photograph of a newspaper, and the article was like whatever the article was, and then at the end of the article it says click here for more information. It was literally copied out and pasted into the newspaper and printed.
That's hilarious.
So like we don't exactly have real I mean there's some journalists, but like you can't trust can you trust Fox News? No, you can't trust Fox News. You also can't trust CNN, MSNBC, any name you can't trust the organization. The best you can do is find a journalist, a person, and watch them and see if they're consistently credible. That's the only thing I think you can do. So I have a list of journalists that I will like follow and whatever. So there's and apparently Elon has a list of those as well because he's using Michael
Certain ones.
Schellenberger, Matt
Yeah.
Taibbi, Barry Weiss, a few others that are like, they're not partisan. They're kind of middle of the road. They actually argue with him sometimes. Okay, so I was gonna find the tweet about the JFK assassination. But go, if you know more about it than I do, please tell me more.
About what?
About the CIA killing JFK. And why did they admit to it?
I wasn't going to get to. I don't have the pages out.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking like we should go through it if we can find something.
No. I mean, Ashley and I were talking about it yesterday or the day before, and the only thing that we were saying is that maybe the last people that can be prosecuted are no longer with us, or the time is just right to this, because I think we had all pretty much accepted the fact that JFK was killed, by that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't shoot him from the book depository like we all think he did. All right.
I don't know. I really have no idea. I know that's the story. I think I read something about a bullet hole in the front windshield of the vehicle, and then
you don't know anything about the JFK assassination and the magic bullet and all that mess.
I've heard about the magic
bullet, different angles that the bullet had to have, the way that he was shot, the way that he leaned over. You've never seen all that about how
it went through.
If it was one bullet, it would have had to have curved in midair and went around and hit him another way in the leg.
But like, I just don't. I mean, my thinking is like, well, it wasn't one bullet. It must have been more.
Right. It wasn't one bullet. There is a really good. I've probably said this on the show before. I've recommended this to a bunch of people. There is a really good comic book, and I don't know who puts it out. It's called 100 Bullets. Have you ever heard me talk about the comic?
I think that's a Brian Michael Bendis thing. Yeah.
Love 100 Bullets. So. The concept of this comic book is that if you have been wronged in any way, I might be getting this wrong, okay, because it's been a decade since I've read any of these.
I gave you the wrong name. Brian Arzullo.
So the concept is, if you've been wronged in any way, this official, this man will show up, this government looking man, and he'll have a briefcase and he'll say, JJ, you've been wronged. And in this briefcase is all of the proof that you need to right your wrong. And also in the briefcase is a gun with 100 untraceable bullets. So you can either do the right, you can make your choice to right your wrong. Okay, you have all the proof to right your wrong, or you have 100 untraceable bullets that will never come back to you, ever come back to you, no matter what. They will never come back to you. So it's all these little individual stories on what these certain people would do. because and their wrongs, what had happened to them and why they're righting their wrong and whatnot. And one of the stories was an old man in a hospital that saw this guy leaving, and he chases him down, and the whole comic book's like his conversation in an elevator going down with this guy. And he's like, "Do you remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember you." And he said, he's like, "You haven't aged, blah, blah, blah," talking to the government man. And so basically the guy was telling his story that he was a very famous baseball player that was in love with this beautiful actress. And the actress was taken advantage of by this politician. And she was going to come out and expose this politician for what he did to her. And the politician had her killed. So he was distraught because he was so in love with this actress that he was wronged. And they approached him years ago and had proof that this politician had the actress killed or 100 untraceable bullets. So the old man was in regret. And at the end of the comic book, the old man is like, "I have regret for what it never said any names, but it said, I have regret for what I did on the grassy knoll that day." And that guy, before he leaves the elevator, he's like, "Do you think you were the only one that had beef with that politician that day in Dallas?" And then he just kind of walks off. So it was Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. Joe DiMaggio was one of the killers of John F. Kennedy. Because it was such a great little story, man. It was great. Every time somebody talks about John F. Kennedy assassination, the first thing I think of is Joe DiMaggio killed John F. Kennedy.
I should look for that. I always saw that book
Great
back in the early 2000s available, but I never picked it up. I should go get it.
Yes, and they're all just kind of separate stories like that. Really good book.
So I want to show this because I think you'll have something to say about it. This tweet right here says the term conspiracy theorist was actually started by the CIA and JFK assassinations. It was introduced in like New York Times articles that were talking about people suggesting that the FBI or the CIA had something to do with the assassination. So as they were reporting on the assassination, they were reporting on some people making these allegations about FBI or CIA involvement. And this New York Times coined the term conspiracy theorist. And then it's been used for the last 50 years to describe you if you have any kind of idea that runs contrary to the narrative. And now, 60 years later, we learn that the CIA actually did kill JFK. So,
yeah, that's very interesting. I like the origin of words and phrases and stuff. I didn't know that about conspiracy theorists. I'm gonna have to look up more on that. That's cool.
Okay. Wow, what an interesting show this morning. We're just literally all over the place. I wish I could be more informative about JFK. I mean, I watched that movie. Like, what was it? It wasn't Kevin Costner. It was Oliver Stone movie a long time ago. I don't believe anything in that movie.
I don't remember. I don't remember that movie. But that movie was pretty much, I mean, I think it did, from what I understand, it was pretty much factual. It went on facts that we had. It didn't invent any of that shit for that movie that they did. Because I had a history teacher back in the day that was a big JFK. Hang on, I got to talk right here. Hang on. Don't change subjects.
Yeah, okay. So one of the things that is kind of talked about in lore, I believe, is that Lee Harvey Oswald was a military, was a Marine, and then he like left the military or was discharged maybe, and then he defected to Russia and he moved to Russia and then comes back and then guns down JFK, right? Well, I was listening or observing somebody that I think has more familiarity with that situation than me, and that's more or less the way that's portrayed in the movies that I've seen. But Ethan Van Sciver, who's comics kid or whatever, but he's way into JFK stuff. He lives up in Jersey or whatever. He said, yeah, he defected and he went to Russia. And when he went to Russia, Russia basically was like, "You're an idiot. We don't want you."
Okay, I'm back.
Talking about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lee Harvey Oswald.
So Lee Harvey Oswald. So basically the story is that Lee Harvey Oswald, disaffected military man, right, and defects and goes to Russia, and then comes back sometime later and kills JFK. Well,
Uh,
like he comes back as a Russian asset. Hold on, I guess. Hold on. Hold that thought.
I
Hold
know.
it.
I'm
Uh,
trying. I'm trying.
but rather than be like a super agent that's an assassin, when he went to Russia, Russia didn't want him. They were like, "You're an idiot. You're a dipshit," and so they put him in like a work camp for a while. And eventually, he gave up and left and came back to the U.S. He didn't come back as a Russian spy. He came back as a disaffected, wannabe communist spy, and then came back and then got like ideas in his head. So this guy Levi Oswald was not a Russian actor. You know what I mean? He wasn't an asset being run by Russia. He was just a nut job that even Russia didn't want. Okay, go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say, to be honest.
You just had to hold it in your brain for like 1 minute.
It doesn't. I mean, we've already passed it. It would be
All right.
going back 15
Okay.
exits at this
All
point.
right. All right.
It's
All right.
pointless to bring up.
Jeremy's telling me like, why are you not talking about Operation Mockingbird? Why are you like, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Because we could go down a rabbit hole and stay down that rabbit hole forever. And
Yeah.
Jeremy, you should know how your brother is.
And
JJ is
Jeremy's like, oh,
susceptible.
what's
JJ
this?
will be one of the first ones to drink the Kool-Aid. JJ wouldn't even ask what flavor it
Can't
was. You would
it
hand him the
can't be that
whiskey
bad.
cup,
How
and
bad
JJ
could it
would be
be?
like, "Oh, okay," and drink it. You know he would. He's your
Oh,
brother. Me and Jeremy
yeah.
would be the ones that be like, "What flavor is this? What is this, Flavor Aid or is it Kool-Aid? Is it a generic brand? What else is in there?" Me and Jeremy would be the ones to do that.
And Jeremy says there was 10 shooters. 10?
I agree. I was just fixing to say that a minute ago about how if I were the CIA and you were like, okay, Andy, you've got to do this and set up this op to do this, I would be like, okay, well, first of all, we're going to have like 5 people doing it at the same time from different angles to ensure that it gets done and to ensure that that causes confusion and in all kinds of aspects with the public, with the law enforcement. We can get one guy to be a patsy out of the 5 or the 10. I agree. I agree with him.
Jeremy says, I posted the CIA memo about term of conspiracy theorists months ago. I wish you followed. Jeremy, I have a job. I have kids. I have a wife. I got stuff to do.
He's trying to help you, dude. Your
Can't be
brother is
reading
trying to help
memos
you.
all the time.
He's trying to inform you, keep your brain, and tell you to go.
All
Is
right.
this orange Kool-Aid? What is this?
So
Fury?
I know. The only thing better than 10 shooters is if the 10 shooters not only didn't know about each other, but it was two or
They
three different
wouldn't.
teams and they were like lined up and then pow. And somebody's like, I heard a shot.
They
What was that?
probably did. I don't
Hide the
think they
gun.
probably didn't know about each other. And the one guy that they blamed it on, that he probably had some information like, so and so hired me and blah blah blah. Well, we're just going to get this nightclub guy to go and kill him because we've got some dirt on this guy named Jack Ruby. So we're just
Yeah.
going to make him go kill them and do
I
this
want to
shit. We're
see
going to release this dirt on Jack Ruby.
all of this story played out in a new movie, and I want it to be in a like Paul Wes Anderson style.
How the CIA framed all this now and did this
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing and
And you
covered
have,
it up for 70 years.
is it Paul Wes Anderson? Is that who I'm thinking of? Let me see.
It needs to be whoever made The Usual Suspects. It needs to be in that style of movie where you're telling the story from verbal Kent. Okay.
Oh, not Paul Wes Anderson. That's wrong. That's not the right guy. No, no,
Here's
no.
my
I wanted to.
Discord. I got to get my story.
Yeah, get your story up.
I saw the story this morning. I thought, ha, 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 ha. That's exactly how I said that in my brain, too. Ha, 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 ha.
Maybe it's Wes Anderson.
What are you talking about, Fred?
Give me a second.
Jeez, hurry up.
Yes. I want it to be in a Wes Anderson style. Like the Royal Tenenbaums or the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou or Grand Budapest Hotel. I want to see the JFK assassination played out like the Grand Budapest Hotel. That's what I
With
want to
Bill
see.
Murray?
Yeah, that he was in the Royal Tenenbaums and in
The Life Aquatic.
Yeah, Life Aquatic. but just that film style. That's what I want to see. I want to see the comedy of errors that were the JFK assassination.
Okay.
All right. What's your thing you're trying to show?
A story. My ha story.
Yeah. I'm waiting on it.
Are you ready?
I'm waiting for the setup and the punchline.
I don't have a setup. I don't spend 50
Oh.
years setting up. Ha. Brie Larson defeats James Cameron in a one-on-one sword battle to the death. Avatar,
Oh my God.
Way of the Water fares worse at the box office than Captain Marvel. So, Captain Marvel had its first 3 days of the box office hauled in $455 million.
Yeah.
The Way of the Water in its first 3 days has hauled in $441 million. So yes, it's just a little bitty comparison. It's not a lot of money, but ha.
That's great. I'm gonna add that. Let's see. That was Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look here.
I'm sure James Cameron has an excuse. It's around Christmas or something. The flu's going around and causing people not to go or some bull crap.
Here you go. Look, here's a picture. That blue line is Captain Marvel. And then this little red line that is underneath the blue line, that's Avatar. But you know what? It's only the first week. I'm sure it's going to get better. There's no way it's going to get just as bad, but we will keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it.
All right. I'm definitely excited. I'm keeping an eye on that. And I was praying and watching with Tom Cruise in his stunt here recently to announce whatever he announced, because I didn't even watch it and I don't know what the hell the stunt was. And I thought for a half
you didn't?
second.
I watched it.
I didn't watch that shit.
I
don't know what he's announced.
I didn't bring. You know what? I leave stories out because you're gonna be like, Tom Cruise. I hate Tom Cruise.
Thank you. Yeah, but I saw that stupid shit everywhere, and I was like, I'm not watching this. And I thought my evil, bad deacon came out for just a half a second and popped up on the shoulder, and he was like, "What if he fell?" And I'm like, "No, get away, get away." I'm going to say that Bad Deacon did pop up and say that in my ear.
Let me tell you, they went out to like Norway or something like that, to like the side of this mountain. It's ridiculous, like huge, and they built like a half-mile ramp, like 15 degrees up in the air.
Yeah.
And then they put Tom Cruise on a motorcycle, and they're like, "Here's a parachute and a motorcycle. Just go that way." and he rides this bike just like a half mile up a ramp and flies off the end, and then lets go of the bike, and then
That's awesome. That is an awesome way to use. I'm so glad that him and them and whoever did this are using their money in a positive way around this 21st of December, because I know in my little 10-mile radius of this radio station, I know there's not one poor or starving child in my area. They're all taken care of. And so it's good to know that all people are taken care of this Christmas season, so that we can spend millions of dollars doing a stupid fucking stunt with some overrated actor.
I see.
Merry Christmas.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I'd say he's pretty accurately rated.
No,
not that he's good.
Overrated.
I just
everybody thinks he's great.
Tom Cruise plays Tom Cruise.
No, everybody don't think that though. Everybody keeps going and watching Tom Cruise movies.
Man, I wish you could watch Edge of Tomorrow. It's such a good movie.
I'm not watching Tomorrow. No,
it's great.
I can recommend a really good documentary on ants. That's great too.
Is it about giant 6-foot ants? Is it from the 1970s?
No, it's the Sifu.
Oh, Sifu.
Okay. Army ants.
Okay. So let's see. We got a few more minutes. I got another story. I have to play the sad trombone funeral for Aftershock Comics.
Uh-oh.
you may not even know who Aftershock Comics is. But Aftershock Comics, which is a middle-ish large publisher, definitely puts books in stores. Has had to declare bankruptcy. I can't say the word bankruptcy. Aftershock Comics is declaring bankruptcy, claiming that their assets and liabilities total between 10 and 50 million. They also indicate that they have over 200 creditors, including many comic creators and at least one printer, along with a couple law firms in their list of unsecured claims. As comics, a fund established to invest. Aftershock Comics, a fund established to invest in comics and media, is their largest creditor, owing them $500,000. But there's a breakdown. There's a bunch of people that are owed comics. I guess they made comics and then were to be distributed under Aftershock, and then Aftershock was supposed to pay them later, and then can't or doesn't. So they owe a bunch of people a bunch of money, including Jupiter Entertainment, which apparently looks like it's owed about $1.4 million. So it looks like a comic book company may be closing up shop or reorganizing or something like that. And there's more coming because there's not enough people buying comic books to keep all of these comic book companies alive, and the major companies are leading the way with terrible trash. So the stores are choking too. So anyway, it's sad. It's sad if you like Aftershock Comics. I can think of like one title that was published over there that I was interested in, and it was pretty good. But to all these people that are owed money by Aftershock Comics, I'm going to say go crowdfund it. Make your stuff, sell it to your customers, keep the company out of the way. That's all I get to say about that. Woody Harrelson's father was one of the CIA killers.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's not Woody Harrelson. That is not me making a statement. I literally was just reading something that came on the screen. I don't want to get sued.
Bull, Woody Harrelson. We know you. We know you're out there. I can see you.
I like Woody
you and
Harrelson.
Matthew McConaughey. I can see y'all sitting there playing bongos, smoking that bong, watching Your Two Dads.
All right. I think I'm out of stories this morning. I think.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. I've been busy. I was busy. That's what I was telling JJ. I don't know if I said it on the air before we went on the air or not, but I worked yesterday about 15, 16 hours here at the radio station. I went home, ate supper that was ready when I got home. Me and my eldest, we went to Walmart, and then we come home, and I literally wrapped some presents and went to bed.
I mean, congrats on unwrapping the presents. Because, by the time you get to that point in the day. Oh, okay.
I watched them wrap the presents. I didn't wrap. I like to take credit for it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Hey, let me mention this, by the way, just because I'm so happy about it. My copy of Nora's Saga came in. This is a book by Kelsey Shannon. Yeah. And it's pretty dope. It's about this high school girl who falls in the water and through a series of turn of events ends up in a kind of mystical fantasy time long ago in ancient Norse times or whatever.
Oh, really? Cool. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and she basically progresses she progresses from being a high school girl to being kind of like this warrior chick a little bit. I mean, she's on a quest. This is a pretty cool book. Anyway, this is about the biggest reason I got this book was because of this guy is the guy that drew it. This is Kelsey Shannon, and his art is just so great. I love his art. So this book came out. It just got delivered, and so I have a opening video that I've recorded, but I haven't posted. And I'm wanting to finish it and then maybe do a review. Um,
Yeah,
but it's
read it
just another.
read it and do JJ's reviews.
Yeah, another. It's just another. I mean, indie comics. Like you don't need Marvel or DC to do this stuff for you. You can fund and produce your own projects.
I'd like to get another copy or find a copy of the Rippaverse. I
saw him.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, I forgot which one.
You don't want to crack open your signed
I'm not
one,
opening that one. That one is not coming out of the package. I'm never going to put my hands on it.
I mean, there's no other way to get it other than to just order it from Rippa.
It's a cover and it's got his autograph on it. I'm never touching it.
So the ISOM books you can pick up $35. You know,
yeah, well, maybe.
All right, that's all we got. This, yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'll talk about. Let me talk about Johnny Depp for just a second until he gets back. So we got this. Apparently, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have settled their beef, and by settled their beef, I mean she's agreed to pay him $1 million, and he's just going to donate it to charity because Johnny Depp don't care too much. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have reached an agreement about the money. He doesn't care about the money. He wanted to prove her wrong in court. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have reached an agreement, and their defamation claim is no longer being appealed. Heard stated on social media on Monday that she had made a very difficult decision to settle. She says she still stands by her allegations, but she can't take another trial, which would happen if her ongoing appeal were approved. So here is her truth. Which nobody cares about. Amber Heard's a dumb lying bitch.
How did we get to Amber? I leave for 1 minute and
I gotta do something. You're gone for a second. I gotta talk about something.
You can't talk about it.
So Johnny Depp's gonna get money from Amber Heard. He's gonna get that money and he's gonna give it to charity. And maybe Amber Heard will finally shut up and disappear.
She was already disappeared until somebody brought her back up today to me.
No, she was out there. She was out there.
I had completely forgot about those two words belong together, Amber and Heard. I was like, oh yeah, who is that again?
Umbrella guy's gonna have a real problem whenever she really disappears. Oh, it was. Do good says it's actually Woody Harrelson's stepdad. All right. Either way. Sorry, Woody. I loved you in that bowling movie.
Kingpin?
Yeah, Kingpin.
Woody Harrelson's a good actor.
Of all this stuff, he's like, the bowling movie.
The bowling movie?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Also loved you in that zombie movie. What was that zombie movie? Oh, yeah, also Cheers. But come on. You worked your way up from Cheers to the zombie and bowling movies. All right. Jeremy agrees with me. Kelsey Shannon's videos on YouTube are awesome. And I like it. He spends a lot of time on it. And then he doesn't get a lot of other stuff done. Okay, that's all we got. Let's go. Well, how would you close the show, Deacon? If I were to be like, Deacon, close the show.
We appreciate you joining us. We hope that y'all have a Merry Christmas coming up this weekend. We may or may not be here Friday. Friday might just be a show with JJ alone because JJ doesn't even know this yet. But we have some nasty weather coming through my neck of the woods come Thursday afternoon into Friday. So I might not even go to the radio station. I might actually take the camera and try to do it from the house Friday morning. Just depends on it just depends. It just depends. So
I'm glad you brought that up because, like, do you know tomorrow the temperature is going to go from 70 to 20?
Look, I'm going to show you this
50-degree difference.
Look, I was just saying this on the air. Can you see this? This is my forecast right now for Paducah Barkley Regional Airport. This is Western Kentucky, Benton, Kentucky. Look at the high temperature today, 46. High temperature tomorrow, 45. Low temperature, -2.
-2. Yeah.
High temperature Friday, 11. But wait a minute, Thursday night. So Thursday night, 50% chance of snow before midnight. Low around -2. Wind chills as low as -19 with a 35 mile per hour wind gust.
Oh my God, dude!
I
It's
know.
like
I know. I hate this shit.
Santa's trying to drop his balls on the entire
Oh,
face of America.
bastard.
All right. Well,
So yeah, I
yeah,
was just
it's
saying
gonna
on
get
the
cold.
air, I've got to, I was just saying on the air right then, I was reading about the weather and saying I've got to I'm going to put some stuff up to kind of build like a little shelter for the couple of outside cats. So fun times are here again. So like and subscribe, as JJ says,
Yeah,
right
like and
down
subscribe.
here, or
Thanks
up
for
there,
watching.
or
I
over
see.
there. I don't know where it's at.
I see some of you have already left. All right, we love you. Bye.